talk about. Sheriff Mark Cage is with us, and I want to continue this discussion on the border security and the issues that we're dealing with on the border. And so this event that you went to in Arizona, I always like to hear about the problems, but then I like to hear solutions. And I've heard of the FAIR organization before. I mean, they're for legal immigration, protecting our U.S. sovereignty and our U.S. citizens and so forth. Other than what some of these sheriffs and governors in these other states are doing to try to help each other out, what are some of the other solutions or some of the other proposals that were discussed and that were talked about that you think actually have a chance of making a difference in this crisis that we're dealing with right now?
I'd like to say we heard a lot of positive news, but we didn't. That's the fact of the matter. We didn't hear a lot of positive news. We heard a lot of horror stories. We heard a lot of depressing statistics. I think in the last few months, the rate of illegal immigration has increased 800 to 900%. 800 to 900%.
Right.
And it's not slowing down. It's not slowing down at all. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing all this. Well, it's just a humanitarian crisis. We need to. It is, but not in the way that this narrative is saying it. Women and children are being raped and sodomized on the way over here by these people. It's disgusting what's going on. And that's the humanitarian crisis. We are actually promoting by our policies, we're facilitating this to happen, I guess is probably the best word. And incentivizing, because some of these folks are desperate. You know, there are really, and my heart goes out to them, and I empathize with them. And it's like they're in a desperate situation. They're trying to make their lives better. They don't know what else to do. They've scrimped and scraped and come up with money and said, "Hey, help us." To these unscrupulous people, these predators that have no regard for human life or human dignity, and then they're victimized, killed, raped, whatever happens, because they're nothing but a commodity to these folks.
Right.
And we're turning a blind eye to that with our policies. I think there's more compassion being shown by people going, shut the border. I know there's more compassion. Shut the border down. Stop this. Stop incentivizing this to happen. And, I mean, I get very passionate about it because I have seen it firsthand. What the vice president, she went to El Paso?
She flew into the airport and
left. Good. Bird's eye view.
Yeah. Well, you would think these people are telling you would think people are telling the vice president, here, this is what you here's the reality of what's going on. You would think people would be telling the president what, and this is into speculation mode now. Why do you think this is being allowed to happen like this? I can't. I mean, I have some thoughts on why it's happening, and a lot of it I think is tied back to the swamp reacting to who was the president in the last term and trying to make sure that
the pendulum swung so much back, just all the way. Yeah,
I don't understand it, and I don't understand. People like our governor, they have somebody at state police or law enforcement level has to be telling her, look at what's going on in Texas, look at what's going on in Arizona. We can't let that happen here. I don't understand why.
Shouldn't care.
It has to be so opposite of reality. I don't understand it. I guess that's where I'm.
And I guess I'm a little naive in some way because I believe in basic humanity. I believe in that deep down inside that human beings are compassionate creatures. All of us. I know they're not. I've dealt with monsters my whole life. That's what I've dedicated my life to doing, is to fighting monsters because they're out there.
Right.
But sadly, there's monsters in control. They're legally monsters. And I look at it and I go, how can you just not even understand? How can you blind yourself and just go, you know what? Those Republicans are idiots.
Yeah.
I do not say that. And I know a lot of folks, I have a lot of good friends who say, Democrats, hell with the Democrats. I don't say that because I know there are a lot of good Democrats out there. There are.
Right.
There's a lot of moderates. I think we need to get rid of the two parties and have people get together and just work together. Because you got the fringe right, you got the fringe left who are just radical and not going to listen to anything. But there's a whole bunch of us in the middle area who are willing to work together.
Yeah.
But we're being pulled away from each other by the fringes.
Right.
And that's where the problem comes in. Self-serving people on the fringes going, no.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a peaceful accord in here where we can, give and take. Because that's how it works, right? It's America. There's give and take. You're not going to get everything you want. I'm not going to get everything I want. But maybe we can come to an agreement.
And with the ultimate goal being the betterment of the country or the society or the community or whatever they're doing. What have you seen and what was talked about in terms of, I'm surprised there just hasn't been mass resignations. People within, say, the Border Patrol, law enforcement just saying, that's it, I can't do this anymore.
There has been some. They're getting fired. They're kicking out people that aren't on board with them. Border Patrol.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just replaced. That we're looking at replacing, putting that Chipman guy in with the ATF. I work very closely with the ATF right now. They put him in there. It's probably going to end.
Yeah.
I'm not going to subject the citizens I represent to that. It's not going to happen. And it's to watch what's going on and watching an honorable agency like Border Patrol, Customs, watching them get relegated to, oh, you guys get over here. You stand back over here. We're ashamed of you. We don't need you.
Right.
Here, go babysit.
Yeah. Babysitters.
It's disgusting. And I don't, it's an atrocity the way things are going. And again, I get very passionate about it. I get worked up. And especially after going and seeing all this and hearing it all firsthand, we thought we had some issues while President Obama was in office. We had no clue what it could be like.
Yeah.
Till now.
Right.
And now we're getting to see it firsthand.
It's
in all its glory.
Very, very frustrating. And we've seen a large amount of resignations and people retiring in law enforcement in other parts of the country where the defund the police stuff has been going on.
And I welcome them to come here.
Yeah, I know you do.
The good ones, I'll hire them.
I know you do. And there's been some of that's been going on. But I feel really badly for these people that have dedicated their lives or their careers to securing our country's borders and what they're having to endure and deal with.
Right.
There's always going to be changes in philosophy from administration to administration. But this just, you mentioned the pendulum swinging. I don't know that under the previous administration that it had swung, I guess, compared to today, it was way over here. I always thought it was just a correcting of it or a bringing it back to the more sensible level, but it has just shot way over to the left.
Well,
it's
President Trump made them so mad and disrupted their little organization so much that they lost their minds now. And you know what? I'll defend that man all day long. He said he's like, I can't compare myself to him because he's a much greater man than I could ever be, but we have a lot in common because he would just say things and to heck with the consequences. Here's what I think, here's what I believe in. The man believed in our country. I spoke to him He cared about me. He cared about you. He cared about this country. And yes, he was a crude man sometimes. But I am too. I'm a sailor. That's how I, I mean, I have to really watch myself on the radio because I have a foul mouth sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy misspoke a lot of times. But what do we have going on right now? Someone who can't even form a coherent sentence.
Oh, it's an embarrassment. And but anyway, that's getting
we're getting way up in the weeds there.
So we've got about 5-6 minutes left in this segment. What else would you like to talk about? Are there other issues or topics that you'd like to bring up? Let the folks here in Eddy County be aware of that your department's dealing with here in Southeast New York.
Yeah, the drugs are we're always dealing with that, and I really kind of looked forward to 3.5 years from now actually really retiring and walking away and saying, we can do that. And Alan Griffith, of course, my undersheriff, was looking forward to the same thing. I'm not sure we can walk away.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't run for sheriff again, but I think we may stay around for a while, and because there's so many people that want us to, and there's so much at stake right now. I'm not sure it's time to change anything.
Yeah.
So I think that's a message I would give out to Eddy County is if you still want us, we're going to stay around. Because I'm scared. I'm going to that border and hearing the briefings that I got and seeing the atrocities and seeing what's going on. I'm scared. And I just, man.
Because again, to repeat, it's not the Mexican national coming across that seems to be in the minds of the liberals that we've got to be careful for. Your briefings, these are people from all around the world and not from U.S.-friendly places that are just walking in and coming across the border.
These are horrible people that are coming here to destroy our country. I love those people. I love human beings. That's me. I really am. I'm kind of a jerk, and I have a hard exterior, but I'm soft-hearted. I really do. I love human beings. I love people. And the people that are coming across, I feel for them. The oppressed folks. And I do. I want a better life for them, and I would welcome them with open arms. But the problem is you can't have open borders and have true national security at the same time. These folks, maybe we do need immigration reform badly. We need to make it easier for those folks who are really needing it to be able to come here, because we should.
Or people that fill positions and roles within our country that need to be filled because we have a shortage of people in that particular. It could be in high tech, it could be in energy. I mean, I don't want to be pigeonholed and say we need more this type. That's demeaning to anybody that
as compassionate human beings, though, we should be looking at oppressed folks and saying, hey, how can we help them?
Right.
But no, they get used every time and again. These folks get used as political pawns.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting. That's the only word I know to use for it. I say that word a lot because it disgusts me.
Yeah. It is extremely frustrating. We talked about the marijuana, recreational marijuana that's legal now. Were there any corrections or changes or adjustments to some of these laws that were passed in the last couple of sessions, or what are some of the things that they're in place now and you've got to work through?
Lip service is all that was. Saying, oh yeah, we'll fix it. The body cam bill. They didn't fix that.
Okay,
it's garbage. It's one of the worst laws around, and they didn't fix it. They were supposed to fix it. They said they'd fix it. They promised they'd fix it. Oh yeah, let's just get this in place. That's why I'll never buy that. I'll never buy that line. I never did, but I definitely won't ever in the future is like, let's just get this in place and we'll work on it later. No, it's not going to happen. That one, I'm trying to remember what we got the HB4, the so-called New Mexico civil rights. Yeah, that's going to be real good. That's going to be real good. That was an answer to a non-existent problem.
Right.
So you didn't like the fact that Derek Chauvin knelt on George Floyd's neck and he died. I get that. I didn't like that either.
Right.
I don't think any decent human being liked that.
And he got 22 and a half
He
years
did.
for that.
The man was punished. Hardcore punished. I mean, that's a long time for something that, it was bad.
Yeah.
And he deserved to be punished for it. And I think a lot of folks understand that and believe in that. But that's the process. And you can't look at things so emotionally that you go, oh, well, that person was killed because they were black, or that person got killed because they were white, and go, well, that just must be. That's the narrative, so I'm going to believe that.
Right.
You got to look at the facts. There's a reason why people get acquitted of these things, because they do. Because there's a reason behind that. There's a reason why anybody, why you would, anybody allegedly commits a crime or commits a crime gets time in prison or not. And there is a process. Derek showed, and people are going, oh, that's not enough. Well, what do you want to do? You want to take him out in the square and lynch him?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it wasn't first-degree murder. So
and maybe the guy deserves that. I don't know, but that's not how our laws work.
Right. And in Minnesota, I don't know that they have the death penalty there anyway, because it's Minnesota. So
the guy's being punished.
Right.
And and he will be punished for a long time. Do you really think he's going to get out on good time? No. But as a result of that incident, these laws in many states across the country, including here in New Mexico, the HB4, the so-called Civil Rights Act. Look at Seattle. Seattle's in complete anarchy.
Seattle, Portland, Oregon is, and then they had heat.
Yeah, have fun.
Get out of those black uniforms.
You've seen the movie Escape from L.A. and Escape from New York.
Yes.
Some of these places, you can put up a wall around them and go, have fun.
Yeah.
This is what you want.
It's really a shame, because it's diminishing tourism. It's diminishing people feeling comfortable just going out and about in some of these bigger cities.
I wouldn't go there
because of the fears of the crime. Isaiah, who used to be here, has moved to Albuquerque. I was kind of giving him a hard time because for about a month before he left, he was pulling up in front of the radio station, and he had one of those club things on the steering wheel of his car. And I said, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm getting ready for Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Because he was moving to Albuquerque. And I'm like, well, that's not the kind of rehearsal I would like to be doing before
I can't imagine why
city.
anyone would move to Albuquerque. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful place. We were there for the state softball tournament on Saturday, and such a beautiful place, and there's a lot of friendly people there and a lot of great places to go. But you calculate where you go and how long you stay, and then you get out of there.
Crime is out of control.
There was even, we saw the Breaking Bad RV tour RV, which I contend is part of the problem that Albuquerque has. It was such a successful show that it created this image of Albuquerque that...
Celebrating methamphetamine manufacturer, which I've watched this here and I enjoy it, but I look at it as, this is horrible.
Yeah, I always had a problem with the premise.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a great show. People love it. I mean, it's a cult classic and all that.
I watch a lot of that stuff because, I'm an old narc from back in the day, and I used to do that with the DEA and stuff, and when I ran with them for a little while, and so that stuff interests me, and I watch it, and I just get I like outrageous things. I watch outrageous things. I don't watch anything mundane on TV, and that was an outrageous show, and I was sick of it by the end. I was ready for them to kill him and be done with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Sons of Anarchy. I realized that I'm rooting for criminals. I watched that. But once you're invested, you have to watch it, right?
Yeah. How does it finally wind up?
And it ended poorly.
That's too bad.
So,
well, any final thoughts or anything you'd like to leave us with?
A lot of bad news. I said a lot of bad news, but here's the good news. Eddy County is a wonderful place to live. We still have a lot of good people. We have a lot of people who are willing to stand up, stick their chest out, and go, not here. We're not doing this here.
Right.
I'm one of those people. I'm going to be here fighting for us. A lot of people are fighting for us. I say me because I'm speaking for me, but we have a lot of great leaders, a lot of great followers. We live in a great place, and I think people in Eddy County Carlsbad, Artesia, Loving, Malaga, Hope. I think we should all, White City, I think we should all be very proud of what we have here, and we need to all stand up for it, and we need to keep fighting for our way of life, Let them do whatever they want to do in other places, but I came here for a job, and I found a family and a community, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I think folks around here need to, because there's a lot of folks who get kind of caught up and go, well, everything. Look around at what we have. You're here for that reason, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful community, wonderful people. So that's my good news is, hey, there might be a lot of stinky stuff out there, but Eddy County is shining bright.
Good place to be.
Yes.
And thank you, Sheriff. Appreciate your service, your team, and look forward to your continued service.
All right.
And anything we can do to help, we're here.
Well, thanks for giving me a platform to talk.
All right, Sheriff Mark Cage. We're going to take a break and get Aaron in here, see if he can top that.